Thanks for joining me again. It's your boy, aka Crystal Lord, aka that message at the right time, right? And right now, your time is mine. So let's not waste any of it. Let's get right to it. Today is the 9th. So I wanted to touch on the number 9. This hit me so profoundly when I read this today. Because the 9 ends a numerical sequence, it is often considered a number that indicates endings. However, because numbers can continue on indefinitely, the ending of the 9 is also a doorway into a new chapter. This is summed up by the expression, when God closes a door, somewhere he opens a window. Whether the 9 appears on its own or in combination, you can be sure that something is ending. You can also be sure that something is soon to be beginning. The 9 lets us know that whenever we are asked to release something, it is because life wants to deliver something greater to us, and we'll just need to have open arms and be ready to receive it. The 9 brings us guidance to surrender into that process. It can be easy to resist and fight against life without realizing that we are even doing it. Of course, we always have that choice, but sometimes we can unintentionally make life harder for ourselves through our resistance, preventing the easy flow of what would actually be beneficial for us. Wow. It is my personal belief that if we do not receive from life what's gently offered when with open hands, life will politely tap upon our front door to deliver what's rightfully ours. If we ignore that, the polite knock will turn into a furious banging of fists. And can't we all attest to that? You know, there's times when we needed to do something or needed to make a change and we didn't, and then life just kicked us in the ass, so to speak, and made that change for us. And I find myself at a very important time of change in my life also, so that really resounded with me. But I did pre-shuffle. I do got everything laid out. Let's just dive right into it. I'm gonna read it first with you guys. So first I got skill with Pat. The 16 there reduces to 6. So skills. Wow, so our skills are setting us on a new path. Our skills are what's going to help us get through that ending, right? That could be the ending of a relationship, the ending of a job, the ending of ties, emotional ties and feelings to something, right? We've accumulated these skills, right? I don't know about you guys, but my let go game has been on point. Like, if things aren't serving for my greater good, I feel like it's a lot easier now in my life to kind of let these things fall by the wayside. But there are always these cosmic ties or even ties that we have in our mind, right? As far as chained to somebody or energy or needing, it's like they're not real. They're not real chains, right? We're really suffering or breaking something from our mind, not necessarily any real chain or tie to anyone or anything. But through our skills and our service to others, and then remember that enlightenment, I got it up here, upside down, I got here right side up. Wow, and like a child before the wise, right? And then that begs to differ, who's the wise one in that picture? Is it the child who isn't moved by life yet? Or is it the old man? Or are they one and the same? But enlightenment, today when I woke up, I stood on the porch, right? And I looked around and I said, whoa, I have to take a minute just to say, I can't believe, where I'm at in life. Things have been up and down, right? Left and right, whatever you want to say. But sometimes you have to look up from the grind. I actually saw a picture also from my cousin, shout out Rydell Hodge out there. I haven't seen him in a while, but obviously that's my family. He posted a picture and it said enjoying the view from the grind or from, where he worked. And it just made me kind of stop and do the same thing and say, well, don't forget about how far we've come and, where we're going. And then even in those moments, the trees are still beautiful, right? The view is still beautiful out here. All the world's still a beautiful place, okay? And through this enlightenment of, wow, look at where I am, right? Then we really begin to heal, right? Cutting the head off the snake, right? But in a different way, like a cat. I know cats are one of the only animals that kill for sport. You know what I mean? and just their tenacity and where they can go and their quickness and ability to think on their feet and land on their feet no matter what happens to them. What a great analogy for this. And I'm just going to work my way into the bottom. Impatience. We all want things today, right? We live in a world where life is really at your fingertips. Go, 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 right? Instant gratification. And it seems like a lot of us are feeling a little impatient, like, hey, I've been busting my ass in service to others. I have the skills to go far, right? I'm constantly thinking about my healing, or at least, trying to admit when I'm still feeling these emotions. But don't get too impatient, right? It's not really about where we're going. A lot of this is just about the journey. And at the bottom of the deck, we have union and power. Wow. So there's some type of relationship out there. There's some type of connection, union that's going to bring you power. If it hasn't already, and you're just waiting for your enlightenment to sit there and acknowledge that to yourself. Okay, don't get too caught up in the deep stuff. Wow. And then sure enough, faith. Right, so there's some type of union that's already happening or happened for most of us out there as we move forward, right, with our skills, through service of others. The enlightenment is to look up. Stop what you're doing and look up. Look around you and take a minute to account the beauty of the world and just how far you've come. Don't forget that, right? And we got to have faith, right? Impatience can rob us of faith. It's taking too long. I've been at this so long. It's like, it's coming. But don't forget that even as it's coming, there's so much in beauty around you right now that you can take stock of and think and be thankful for. Anyway, I'm going to get to it and do it. I got some work to do. I'll talk to y'all later. Crystal Lord.